Last chance for the French team. Lopes across the line. That's very good. Now that's just under half a second. Wonderful stuff from the Finn.
Loeb's teammate Francois Duval is on the stage now, and the Belgian was battling for the lead with Loeb last year when he too retired. Oh! And that's exactly where Gronholm had his early scare. After crashing out in Corsica, Duval cannot afford another mistake.
No, the team were not impressed, and he has lost a lot of ground in comparison to the cars in front. This is not looking good for the Belgian, but it's more important for him to get to the finish. He's got a lot of damage to make up after the last rally. Now let's see exactly how much time he's lost. Well, that's just under 3 seconds. But 3 seconds is nothing. He's got to get to the finish. That's all that matters. And look at him taking that cut there and the underside of the car scraping across the tarmac. Now this car, believe it or not, is the same car that he rolled in Corsica. It's absolutely brand new, and the Citroën mechanics have done a wonderful job to turn it around.
Loeb now is coming towards the end of the stage. And so far, no one's been able to match him as far as split times are concerned.
Well, this, without doubt, is going to be the time to beat. He's a man on form, 14.02.8.
Well, Petter was already more than 4 seconds slower after 10.4 kilometres. What's he been able to do? But there's the clock, he's already slower.
Petter put so much into his rallying, and this is going to be very disappointing for him. Wow, look at that, 20 seconds already.
Completely wet, Phil.
Yep. It's completely wet. He's not happy with the stages at all.
Petter, we know that the Pirellis are suited to cold and damper conditions. I don't think it's damp enough, but was it okay?
I took the hardest tyre. Hardest tyre was completely wrong.
Now Gronholm can't be so far off the pace. He was only half a second behind Loeb at the split.
Well, there's Gronholm. Where is Loeb? Well, that is a country mile in rallying terms. Yeah, he really is quite a way ahead. Now, I wonder if Marcus Gronholm is suffering the same problem as Petter Solberg, taking too hard a compound. How much has he lost? Well, that's just over 10 seconds. Still half as much as Petter Solberg, mind you.
Well, what about Loeb's teammate, a man with a lot of pressure to perform here in Catalonia?
He certainly does, and he was nearly 2.5 seconds slower at the split. Now there's Loeb. Now where are the rest of them? Okay, as normal, he's way out in front, but fair dues, Duval is right up there with Gronholm. They're neck and neck. Now let's have a look. They're coming close to the finish now. This is going to be very close between the pair of them. Looks like Gronholm's got the edge. Yeah, and he's 10.3 seconds slower than his teammate and 0.2 slower than Marcus Gronholm. And look at that damage at the back end there. Just an early warning, but in this case, just a bumper.
Roman Cresta comes here off the back of a career-best finish, 5th in Corsica.
And whoa, a big moment there. And did you see that gravel on the road? Obviously, the early cars are actually cutting the corners, and the more cars that pass, the dirtier the road gets.
Even so, he's faster than Solberg, 15 seconds off Loeb's pace, and 4th overall after stage 1.
The top 8 after the first stage is made up by Tony Gardemeister in 6th, Mitsubishi Gigi Gali is 7th, and Mikko Hirvonen in a privately entered Ford Focus is 8th.
Don't go away. Rally Catalunya continues after the break. Welcome back to Spain and Rally Catalunya. Stage 2 brings Sebastian Loeb another stage win. Counting Corsica, that's 14 in a row. As for Marcus Gronholm, no such joy.
5, oikein leikkaa, 2, vasen pirupitkä nopea, kirraa. 2, oikein nopea, kivi sisällä. 3, oikein nopea, kirraa. 7, vasen pitkä nopea, kirraa betonin sisällä lopussa. Ja oikein nopea, ahdas.
The Finns off the pace on El Montmel. Nearly 20 seconds slower than Loeb.
3, oikein nopea, kirraa.
He's also slower than Francois Duval. The Belgian beats him by 12.5 seconds. And that's enough for him to overhaul Gronholm and take 2nd place overall.
50 droite à fond corde, 75, sommet en long, droite 80 en frein super piège pour droite 40, ferme 30.
Worse news for Gronholm is that Roman Cresta also moves ahead of him. The Czech sets the 4th fastest stage time, an impressive result for the relatively inexperienced man. He's now 3rd overall. Cresta's teammate Tony Gardemeister is 6th coming into the stage. But he too is upwardly mobile. He beats 5th place Petter Solberg, and the two swap places on the leaderboard.
Solberg drops to 6th, Gigi Gali still 7th and Mikko Hirvonen 8th. But again, Sebastian Loeb was fastest and leads by nearly 18 seconds going into the first service.
Are you going to win every stage here in Spain?
I don't know. At the moment, I'm just looking to try to make the good tyre choice, and then we'll see.
Marcus, a mixed morning for you. What happened on stage 2?
No, we took soft tire slicks for these two, and second stage was completely dry, and there was no chance to go faster.
With the stage conditions in the mountains continuing to be changeable, tyre choice is still a gamble.
Roman, 2 stages completed, 3rd overall. It's looking good at the moment.
For sure, definitely. Tyre choice was very good. A new Michelin tire was excellent on first 2 stages morning. But for sure, I think now it will be very difficult to tyre choice for next 2 stages because it's last information completely wet.
What tyre choice do you think you're going to make?
Maybe a little bit soft to compound.
Now in Corsica, we basically covered the tarmac setup of a World Rally car. But another important issue is the weight in the car and the weight distribution. Now, the ideal setup is to get it 50-50 front to rear. But of course, with the engine and gearbox at the front of the car, this is where the majority of the weight is in a standard car. Now, what M Sport have done with the Focus, and this is a perfect example, is they've been very, very clever in the way that they've built the car. You just have to have a look on the inside, just to look how basic it is, very minimalistic. All the weight is very low down. The original dash is nothing, it's just made of carbon fiber. So all that weight is taken out, and they've taken a very, well, we don't know the true story, but they've got a minimum weight of 1230. That's the legal requirement, but this car is probably built under that. Now, the weight that they save in the car build, they tend to put right in the back of the car.